Live. Hello. Yay. With that being said, welcome to the inner room with Adam Idea Mind. This is the space where walls fall away, where stories don't just get told, they land. Messy, real, and alive. Here, writers open the door to what drives them, what haunts them, and what keeps them going. Every voice has its own rhythm, its own scars, its own sparks, and together we trace the threads that hold us, break us, and connect us all. I cannot believe that it has taken 9 months since this beautiful human has decided to re-enter the room. And I was telling you before we went live, you were part of the unscripted and unfiltered team. And I love that you get to step into the inner room today with me. And thank you very much, Nicolette, also known as Rebel Sage. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here again. Or
Well,
thank you.
every time I have a returning co-host, I get a little bit more excited because it's like, friend. But also it gets a little bit more interesting on questions. How do I can't just do like the standard regular. But for anyone who's new to the space, Rebel Sage is not. I come up with 20 curated questions for my co-host. They are all going to be in theme to what this lovely human writes about or chats about or puts out there for the world to read. So with that being said, I don't know if the first time we did this, if you picked your own numbers or if I
No,
just
I think you did let me pick some numbers and we asked the audience as well. So
for some numbers too. I mean I like to be submersive in the experience. Everybody who's joining us, Joe, Karen, Greg, Anthony, Marco, appreciate you. Yeah, so whatever you want to do. I have an order to mine, but it's okay. There's 1 to 20. You could pick a number from 1 to 20 and we'll just
okay,
get started.
let's start with number 3, please.
Number 3. Is that your final answer?
Yes. Can I phone a friend?
Not already?
I'm scared.
Hello, Fiona. Hello. All right. Number 3 is what's been taking more energy than it should lately?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, you went in for the jugular apparently.
For all my overthinkers, like my brain just always wants to fucking like it overthinks. So all my energy is like, I don't know if this is like a complex PTSD thing, right? Growing up with trauma. I don't know if it's my astrology, whatever it is, my brain is just constantly like on loops. And so all my energy is always expended in fighting my thoughts. And I've been at this game since like 15 when I was writing like dark emo poetry. I'm like, oh my God, like, can you just be quiet?
I love that you mentioned dark emo poetry because when I was in high school, I was definitely one of the emo kids, and I have since rediscovered some of the bands, and I was like, there's an obvious reason why I became exactly what I am by just listening to some of the songs that I used to listen to, and I'm like, oh, hopeless romantic, very emotional. So yeah, it's very emo world was very rewarding, but also it's very hard to live in. When you're constantly in an emotional state, it is very hard to live in. So I give you lots of kudos. I mean, I think you bring up something that maybe some people don't pay attention to because I definitely didn't 5-10 years ago. Astrology was definitely not something in my world, but I've discovered it, and I do feel like I have a better connection with the universe than said God. I do have a deep spiritual feeling at this point that there are things that are just always moving behind the scenes that we cannot see. And even just deciding to have this conversation on this day with you is aligning in a pathway of something bigger than both of us. That's so when we talk about astrology and the madness that has happened recently, I like to blame the universe a lot of the times for my problems. like, like this was a setup. Like, thank you. So well, how have you been feeling over this week? Because I mean, like I said, there was what was there like 8 signs in Aries, which is the
Yes.
first sign
Yes.
of, and this was like spring is new, and this is really when the new year's supposed to be, but our
Well,
calendar's a little fucked up.
everybody experiences Aries, whether you're an Aries sun or not. If you don't know astrology, you're gonna fucking feel it. There were 8 planets, now there's 5. That's like martial energy. That's law. Excuse me, war. That's like I
Mm,
want to fuck. I have so much angst and anger. I don't know where to put it. Okay,
mm.
and imagine all that amplification of energy. So I don't know how you were feeling, but I was just like, oh shit. And then there's another big transit that's happening right now. Uranus is the planet of huge radical change, okay? And it's shifting into a new sign, which only happens like every 8 years. Sean wants to say hi.
I would say such a sweet kitty, such a sweet kitty.
Anyway, so we're gonna move into another huge transit, which only happens. I don't know, y'all. It's just fucking like the last time it happened was big wars. I don't even have words.
Hey,
We're,
collaborative chaos. Yeah,
we're
yeah. So when you put it into a worldview, like me and you were both in the States, so we may not want to be political on this platform,
yeah, boring.
but it also affects all of these things. Like it's not just you and I that are being affected, it's us as a whole. Everybody does tap into this energy whether they want to admit it or not. It is affecting things.
Mhm.
I know the thing that always got me was that somebody said, if what is it, the moon, if the moon can affect tides, whether you have a low tide or high tide, like if that has like a pull, a push pull and things, why would you think it wouldn't affect us since we also are made of predominantly water? So
Wow.
it's interesting. It definitely I'm more fascinated into the energies and the ways that things kind of shift and stuff. But
I felt
let's
like, yeah, let's reground.
so
So,
let's settle in.
yes.
Hello. Well, I'll say hello to Collaborative Chaos one more time. Hiya. So if you guys are just joining, this is Rebel Sage or Nicolette, however you want to, whatever you prefer. I like Rebel Sage just because
Hi,
you know
everyone.
it gives me happiness. We had our first conversation in July. I think it was July 16th of last year. So this is the first time Rebel Sage has come back into the inner room, and I have a whole set of questions for her, and we're gonna go on random tangents because that's what
So we
good
do.
humans do,
Mhm.
and hopefully you guys either learn something, feel something, like something, any hate something, any emotion is a great emotion.
I hope you feel seen because instead
Mm.
of feeling like we're all fucking pretending we know what the fuck we're doing all the time, like you feel seen, like, oh, I'm not so, I don't know if weird's the right word because I like weird, right? But like
No,
I'm
yeah, I get what you're saying. And before me and Rebel Sage went live, I was talking about how I've been feeling on this space and how she's been feeling in spaces. So we're definitely going to be very human in this. I don't really like pretending or being or performance.
pretending. Yeah, take the mask off. So I'm emotional right now. Fucking, I'm uncertain about my life right now, but I'm showing up.
Well, so for anybody that doesn't know, you are originally from where, and you currently are now where?
From the Bay. I grew up in the Bay and I never thought I'd leave the Bay. And I live in Asheville now, which is very interesting. So
So we went from West Coast to East Coast. That's
that's
one big, huge
one big,
jump.
and I don't know how to talk about the differences between the two locales because obviously I'm grateful for both spaces, but it's definitely like culture shock.
Well, I mean, I think there's one side that's very diverse and another side that's not as much. Um, I think that there's a faster lifestyle and then a slower lifestyle. Yeah, I think you definitely went from one extreme to another extreme, and I give you all the kudos in the world as somebody who went from New York to Florida and thought that was big change. To travel across the country and land. I mean, Asheville is beautiful. I will give it that, but I don't know anything else outside of it, so I'm not going to pretend to speak on it. But it is the South, so I always remind people the South does have a different vibe than the North for
Mhm.
historical reasons.
Yeah, we won't go there. So why don't we ask another question?
Do you want to pick another number?
I want the audience. Someone put a number in the chat,
All right.
please.
Well, while I wait on somebody, Deb, thanks for joining. Maybe dropping a number. I will ask you my first question. It's been 9 months since we've talked.
A whole
What's
baby
changed?
would have been born.
What's changed for you that people wouldn't see from the outside?
Oh my God. That's a really good question. I'm gonna get deep. Okay, so knowing me, I'm a Leo. I have a lot of Leo energy. So I'm like a huge lover. I'm the childlike energy. I'm the joy, usually, right? But everyone counts on that. But I also have other sides of me, my tender parts, my my serious parts, my sad parts. And so you asked me what changed is leaving a life that you've known and all the mirrors that reflect you, right? Your friends, your family, jobs, and then forging a new life in a whole new space. There's no mirrors. Like you get, it's the fun part of creating a new persona ish, and also missing being reflected by people that you feel safe with. So, to answer your question, I have unlearned so many patterns just because I didn't have the same dynamics. So I don't know how to answer that, how other people see me, but I feel like I finally like took time for to heal my codependency, my enmeshment, my overgiving, my people pleasing, all this shit that I didn't know I was doing to survive. Just to like I wouldn't judge that version of me, all those versions of me, but they weren't authentically me because I'm just, this tender-hearted, soft person. I can shapeshift and I want peace and I want joy all the time, right? When I'm with people.
Right.
So to go back to your original question, I don't know how to answer that besides just deep, deep ass reflection and isolation is pretty intense, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you spent the last 9 months, like I have, by oneself, not
Yeah.
really being in like I don't really have conversations often with people outside of my own family on a daily basis. Like
Mhm.
even my interactions with other human beings are very limited. So I'll go and I'll pick up an order and I'll say somebody's name. I'm picking up for so and so. That's it. Like there's no like here, let's bond for a minute.
Oh,
Every once in a while I'll get a stranger that feels the need to tell me their life story and that's always fun, but my human interactions are very limited. And even though I'm from the place that I currently live, when you talk about it, it brings me back to the version of me from 25 to like 31 that lived in Florida. And I had that same like at 25, like, oh, nobody knows me here. This is a new place. Like I get to be who I am. And I really thought that's what I was doing until I saw how far away I got from who I thought I was.
mm, mhm, mhm.
Because New York breeded this version of a human for 25 years. So this was who I thought I was. And then Florida exposed all the ways that I'm willing to lose myself to fit in, to have friends, to be in a relationship, to do well and at work, like, you know, all of the things that you talk about. So it kind of makes me nervous to ever like go somewhere else if I don't know exactly who the fuck I am before I get there.
I love everything you said. I had chills the whole time. But then this is deep. It's like, who are we really? Do we really know? And aren't we like always evolving and aren't we always different with who we're with? So that's like a deep ass question.
But that's my thing is like is every human really shape shifting depending on who they're with all the time or because I like to think
Hmm.
I mean I same I've been there but I like to think that there are some humans that have figured out exactly who they were and no matter what space they walk in or who's in front of them or what the dynamic is they're still 100% who they were.
That's a good question. Can anyone answer that?
I was
Like,
like, has anybody lived that life?
wait, my question of ask just goes to I hate using this word, but like narcissists, I feel like they know who they are 100%. And they're just like, I'm going to take mine. I know who I am. And I've code switched into that in my 20s when I was like, I'm that bitch. I need to do what I need to do in survival mode. I've
Mhm.
played that role. I've played that dynamic. So I've felt the pendulum swing when my empathy takes over, or, so I don't know who can really answer that.
I don't know, but I do feel like what I've experienced thus far, 36 years of life, is that I now know previous friendships, previous situations wasn't really true me
Hmm.
because I was like the energy was off or there were things that I was just letting slide or just kind of ignoring just to not make something a big deal or whatever. And I feel like when you're surrounded by the right supportive type of humans, nobody's going to ever make you feel like you have to one perform or two shapeshift into the way that they want. So
Yes.
if I get an opportunity to connect with somebody that makes me just feel very comfortable to just be exactly who I am, I think that would basically tell me, okay, this is who I am because I didn't feel like I was pushing myself to do anything uncomfortable. I didn't feel like the energy was in any way shaping the way that I was communicating or how I was showing up or anything like that. So I haven't really experienced that, but sometimes in these conversations I do, and then I get really mad. I'm like, "Why do you guys live so far from me?"
Oh, I know, right?
Uh, but like that, I've been able to find very cool connections on this platform. That doesn't. I don't necessarily feel like I'm performing or that the other person is performing. Like it's just a
Mhm.
natural flow of a pendulum.
I love that you said that because I had to go through, what do you call it? Like friendship, dating, like I had to like weed out people and learn people because I didn't know anyone from Adam, right? Like I'm meeting people for the first time and I'm such a rose-colored glasses person, love to see the potential in everyone and how many relationships suck because of that, right? Because I'm just like, I see all the good things, but not the red flags.
But meanwhile, the whole time the movie's screaming bad. This is all bad.
Like, man, don't go there. And I'm like, well, you're in a new place and you want connections so bad. And at what cost? So I had to go through that journey, like
Mm.
friendship with dating. And I'm grateful now that after taking some space, I have a few really good friends, which I see Jess is online, and that's one of them. And I'm so fucking grateful.
Hi,
Hi.
Jess. We're grateful for you.
So you said something, and my brain is really mushy right now. But you said something like when you're around the right people who support who you really are.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I take responsibility in my life for code switching for survival mode, and then people reflected that part of me, but I was just seeking to really be me. Like I didn't come out as queer until 46 or 45. You know what I mean? Like because of my conditioning and growing up in the 90s, like, oh my God, like it's real talk. I had to unlearn generational trauma, all the traumas. So now I fucking feel like you said how many years of life? I'm turning 47 this year. I feel like I can finally be me. And who am I? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
We're like a decade apart.
I
And I do feel like our lives are like on the same fucking paths. Like we might as well hold hands and skip
yeah,
together because
but it doesn't matter all the time. I think
no.
there's like I find it like just soul connections. I don't know what to call it. Like it transcends time. I know we have all life paths and like certain things happen at the same time. Like if you go to college, blah blah blah. But you like we connect, we get each other at 10 years apart or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think our age has anything to do with it, but I do feel like, as somebody that's been a part of the LGBTQ plus community since I was 19, the very common theme that I find often amongst women is that they usually don't actually understand their sexuality until a lot older because a lot of us had the same book that we were supposed to be playing by. Here's your guidelines. You go to school, you go to school, you try to get a job, you meet a man, you have a get a buy a house, you have a kid, and like that's your life. Like that's literally how the game of life works if you've ever played it. Like
Oh,
literally the game of life. Like that actual game. So I just feel like a lot of women were never given the positive opportunity to explore their sexuality because that wasn't what we were taught we were supposed to be doing. And depending on your religion and other things that you went through in your life, that it became even more like, oh, what the fuck? We'll send you to camp. No, that's not
oh my
like God will fix you, right? Like, you
ouch.
know.
No, there was a term I was taught by, I don't know their ethnicity, but they taught me the term colonized monogamy. Have you
Mm,
heard of that?
nope. But I
It's
can
it's
guarantee I can figure it
exactly what
out.
you're fucking saying. It is literally like you're just like not told your choices because your life force and your capitalism, you're being groomed for something, so it doesn't serve the system for you to be this free liberated woman. Anyway,
I
that's a
mean, we could go on to a lot
whole
of
different
tangents
topic.
because I do feel like women. I don't want to say like I don't like the term superior breed or anything like that, but I do think that women are obviously a special types of humans because we get to give one gift, and that is
Life.
life. And even if we don't choose to do that, our bodies still go through that on a regular fucking basis.
Okay.
So, um, I like the fact that that is, like, I feel like sometimes minimized or dismissed or as it not, like, something as magical as it truly is, like, is just mind-blowing to me. I would love a matriarchy kind of system,
Of
but we won't.
course. And then okay, and then our in America, we're paid less and we're expected to do more and we breathe life. So I don't even want to go there. It's just not cute.
Well, when I think about school now, I'm like, what we do here is twisted. What we do here is absolutely twisted. And I hate that when I was growing up, people that were homeschooled were called weird or other negative terms, like as if it was what the hell is wrong with you? And it was like, no, that parent made the right choice to not allow that child to be a part of a system and be able to just, be whoever they are. And they were taught what they needed to know about life, not your ABCs or your one, two, threes, maybe like those basic things, but like actual, like how to build something, how to grow something, how to clean something, how to do things that you need to do as a human. I always said taxes should have been a high school fucking, yeah, like you should have been taught that shit in high school. Like,
Oh, I know. Trust me,
you
balance
know,
that book. Which we don't use anymore. But anyway, I hear you.
yeah. So there's obviously a lot of things that I think.
Somebody put a number in the comment for a question.
Yeah, we got some quiet
Jess, give us a number 1 to 28. Jess will.
that isn't one or three.
Yes.
That's always the second part of this fun situation for me is like, oh, now we also have to remember the ones that we have said.
We need to write it down. I don't have a pen.
So this is good for my memory test.
Oh,
Is
got 7. Thank you, Jess.
7. All
All right.
right, this is from your recent post. No more chasing connections. Let it find you. You said stay in your own signal. What does that actually look like when someone's pulling you out of it?
I'm learning to embody this myself. It's new languaging because I feel like there's just so much noise, right? Think about how your attention gets like pulled in so many different directions.
Mm.
Everything is electromagnetic. If you don't believe in woo woo, it's fucking science. You have a vibration of
I love that you said it like that.
right? And so
Yes.
your signal is weak because you're leaking energy or you're just whatever. And then your signal needs to be strong. And I'm learning what that means. And I want to be around people who I think it has to do with authenticity and being in your unique genius and being true to yourself. And when
Mm.
you're code switching or people pleasing or in survival mode, your signal is weaker. I don't know. Thoughts?
I love that phrase, "Stay in your own signal." But I think it requires a lot of self awareness. A lot of people are not aware that they're leaking from this direction, that direction, or that their best friend is really draining them, or that their mom is not the healthiest relationship that they should have, like their codependency on them, or like people won't name the things, right? Like it's hard. So a lot of us like to play. I don't want to say victim, but I'll be just speaking on from my own mentality and how it's evolved over time is that I used to tell my family all the time, "There's a black cloud following me. I don't care what anybody says. There's a fucking black cloud. It's over my only my fucking head, and that it's mine. It's mine. I own it. It's mine, right?" And then it evolves to oh, pity me, look at me. Why everything is so fucked up. Like I went through these evolutions of these things because life was happening to me and I was allowing it to just beat the shit out of me instead of learning from it. So it obviously took me time and a lot of time because different roads go to different places, and I had a pit stop in addiction, and I recently started. I went 3 months without smoking weed, and I recently started smoking again, and then I noticed in the beginning it would help me with my own creativity, and it was like opening different parts of my mind for me, and then when I started allowing it in a little bit more frequently, it started to do like everything negative for me. Like I do feel like it's not as a key source of my own happiness anymore. And sometimes I by doing it because I think it's helping my stress levels or my current anxiety or I just want to fucking chill. It's actually really compounding other issues for me and making life a little bit harder to like have clarity with. So I just went on a little tangent, don't mind me, but I do feel like, stay in your own signal is definitely something that you have to even be aware of what your signal is.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. Self-awareness. I don't know who gets it. When does the light bulb turn on? Are you born with it? Does life happen to you? There's no single answer to that.
I think everybody's path is different, and I think based on the things that you go through, it'll lead you to when you can actually discover that. I don't feel like for me, like it wasn't until I was in my 30s, like
Yeah.
when I turned like 30, did I feel a little bit more like, oh, because even when I was 25 and I just touched down in Florida, and I was the way that I was, and the very first job that I got, the feedback I had interviewed 3 times with a PetSmart after working for PetSmart, and like I was more than qualified for the part time position, but yet I was interviewed 3 times for it, and the feedback was just like I came off abrasive, cocky, you know, aggressive, like all of these things that I didn't realize was just I was a product of my environment. I was a fucking New Yorker.
Yeah.
Like like, you know?
Damn. Mm.
Yeah. So it was interesting to then be told like, "Hey, the things that are so normal for you because you were so used to that type of lifestyle don't really belong here, where we're kind of like slower pace and we like to speak correctly and have like utilize real words." Like, so there was a lot of things that I had to like learn and just to have a job because like I was people were afraid in a retail setting that I was going to offend somebody. And I just thought I was being like me. Like I just thought I was like I didn't mean it like in a negative way. I was just like I'm just talking, you know?
Mm.
So signals change, things change, places change, lots of change. Um
Staying in your signal will just help you attract or be more open to what's aligned with you, is the last thing I'll say to that.
hmm,
Yeah, and what you experienced in Florida is what I learned is contrast, right? It's just
hmm,
not what you want or like or supports you, but it gave you information, it probably taught you. Yes?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, then what I discovered even more was that obviously I overextend to fit in. So now I'm stripping all the layers that were put on me in my 25 years of being here. And now I'm taking them all off. I'm like, all right, give
Crazy.
me this, give me that. Like,
Oh, I
right.
know, I know.
So
That's life.
it's
Mhm.
being back now, it's like I have a cool little happy medium because I know that here, there's no way that I'm going to communicate that's going to like actually offend somebody. Um,
Mm.
and I slow down. My speech is slower. I do communicate a little bit more professionally, but I have this problem with patience, and Florida helped me understand why it's important to have some.
Good.
You know, which again, I'm sure that area has also helped you slow down in different ways. So you know, unless you were always in a slower space, I don't know. I feel like the Bay Area is it not? Is it fast? It's slow.
Fast. It's too fast. And if you're sensitively wired, neurodivergent, empathic, it's hard.
Mm.
It
It
was just
sounds like New York, though.
it is like New York, but New York is hella fast. Like like y'all are like the New York minute, and then the Bear is just that fast. And I don't know. I don't want to move fast. And
Yeah.
want I love how in Asheville, like I'll have like a conversation with someone if I'm open to it and they're open to it. Instead of the Bay, it's so transactional. You can feel it. And part of it is I got to get to the next thing. It's not personal, but what are we doing in life? What are we
Why we
doing
don't, why where are we rushing to go all the damn
where
time? Right?
like we're on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, and then we feel disconnected and we're scrolling at night because we're lonely.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Or swiping.
Right? But it's this whole like we're afraid of human connection and I have social anxiety too, but then it's like this push and pull of but I'm lonely and
Yeah,
anyway.
that means I have to go outside and like meet people if I
Yeah.
want. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm in this place too. I like told my sister the other day. I was like, I don't. I think I've been like removed from society like the way that I was used to it. Because as a retail store manager, like I talk to so many people a day, all the time, fixing problems all the time, having conversation all the time, and then going to like no contact is like a very big extreme. It's spending a lot of time in my mind.
Yes.
No, very big extreme. So just like I told her, I said, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to like fit into society the way that I once fit into society.
I'm so glad you said that because I fear that too. Because I used to teach and like talk to tons of people all the time, and then I've been in this like contained like healing mode, and it's like almost remember in the pandemic, you're like, how do you talk to people again? How do you do life again? And we were stuck in our own shit in our own mind. It's kind of like
It never really went away, even though the years kept passing. That same type of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll say, like I said, when I was in the COVID happened, Florida was very much open and everything was fine. It was
It
a party.
doesn't surprise me. They were just like,
Yeah.
it.
No, everybody swore that it was too hot there for that virus to ever grow there.
That was their logic.
That was the logic.
And then in the Bay Area, I literally didn't have a chance to think about the vaccine because you could not eat or work if you didn't get the
If you didn't
vaccine
get vaccinated.
right
Yeah,
away.
then it was like held against you.
To Gestapo state like overnight, and there's supposed to be a left state, and I was just like,
Yeah.
whoa. So look at Florida versus California in that respect.
Yeah, it was like Florida did COVID so differently than everybody else. So differently. The amount of like crowded areas and like just people not there was no 6 feet, there was nothing closing down. It was very different, very different. But you know, I try to understand and respect others because I get really fucking annoyed. Like I have a huge pet peeve when it comes to doing Uber, and it's like if you request to meet you if you don't pay attention to the fact that you picked meet me at door, right? I follow directions. So you're instead of like, you know, take a photo and just leave it at my front door, you put like meet me at door.
That means you're going to answer the door to get
That
my
means that you're one of the few people that don't want your food on the floor. That's what I'm thinking.
free.
So my pet peeve is when I ring the doorbell and I don't bring my phone with me because I'm just like, and then I'm standing there for 5 minutes and then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna leave it here. And then I go back and they text me, you could just leave it at the front door. So
Yeah.
that like that's a peeve of mine. And then the other peeve is like them telling me to leave it there, and then the moment that I take a step away from the food, they open the door, grab it, and then close the door, like as if I wasn't there. Like I didn't even get like away from the door that much. I'm not even like halfway down your driveway, and you've already and like couldn't even like just say thank you.
Right, right, right.
So like that's where I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to be understanding of the fact that different, you know, everybody experienced that differently. Everybody, especially here in New York, things were closed down. Things were precautions were taken because it was just so many fucking people in
Mhm.
the city. So fine, try to give people grace, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't fucking negatively affect me. And that's where I'm learning to like, just because somebody has a reaction, I don't have to take that shit personally.
That's my biggest lesson.
It's hard. It's
Is
hard
I
because
take
like it's like just because somebody did something doesn't mean that had anything to do with me. It could have been
me.
all about them, but I'm over here like, but what did I do?
I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm with you. I teach that all the time, and it's the four agreements. Like, don't take anything personal. But you're like, I was half of that interaction. How can I not? Right? Like, you were doing a service, but they didn't want to talk to you, or they just want their food.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's fine. I'm learning to again. It's not my not my monkeys, not my circus. Like I don't have to work. That's not. I don't have that. Isn't where I have to put my energy today. I don't have to be upset all day every day because people don't know how to interact with me the way that I want them to interact with me, right? Like complete. I cannot continue to expect complete strangers that I've never met before in my life to know how to show up for me in a respectful way, right? So I'm just causing my own torture by getting upset that they didn't do what I wanted them to do,
That's fair. That's
right?
fair.
Yeah, so but it's there's a lot of like unlearning and like again, not everything is so serious, not everything is so personal, not everything needs all of these just because that would make you feel good. That's not how life is. Even though we would love it to be.
Agreed.
Like that's why I sometimes I think about okay, if I had a superpower, what would it be? Reading minds. And then I'm like, that would be very loud. That would
Ooh.
be very loud. But then I would be like, I would never have to really wonder about what anybody was really thinking. But then I'm like, there's that flip side of like that's very loud. That's a lot of information that you probably don't need.
Can you turn it off and on? If it's constant, oh hell no.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, maybe I'll come up with a prompt and then
Okay.
think that one through a little bit more. All right. I want to kind of stick with the no more chasing connection, let it find you themed. So how do you personally tell the difference between a connection that needs nurturing versus one that's just not aligned?
Ooh, how do I personally know?
Mhm.
I'm
Like how
learning.
do you tell the difference in your own life?
Yeah, I'm learning how to actually feel my body. I didn't
Mm,
know disassociating for over three-fourths of my life.
right.
If people aren't familiar with that, it's something we do. We're either numbed out, or if you've had trauma, you're just in your body, but you're not in it. Like you're just disconnected from its signals.
Hmm.
So when I find a connection, I'm trying to feel into how does my body feel? Do I feel open? Do I feel constricted? I try to listen, and I try to go, oh, my spine grow. I'm interested in what they say. I feel safe.
Mm,
Or, oh shit, I'm drained. Like my biggest thing is when people talk at me. They don't talk with me, they talk at me, meaning they're not listening to me, they're not giving me a chance to respond, and then I'm drained. So already I know that's not my type of connection. So
Yeah. I'm very much not a surface level type of person.
same.
I don't know if you noticed by the questions that I asked. Like I don't just ask like, "Oh, well, what's your favorite color, Rebel
Hell
Sage?"
no, go deep.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just not somebody that has the time or the capacity to sit there and listen to somebody talk about something repetitively over and over again. That's like mind numbing to me, and that might be very rude, and like it might sound like it's very rude and stuff, but I just don't connect with the people that way. So if all you're able to offer is, I'm not going to be mean to you, I'm not going to be disrespectful in our conversation, but I'll know that I'm not putting energy into this, I'm not nurturing this, because it's not something that brings value to me and what I need in my life, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Not everybody's going to be deep like me. I'm well aware of that. I've been alone for a very long time, like, and not finding those spaces where I feel okay to just be, you know, the versions of me. So I was just like, if somebody can only like communicate with me about, oh, did you see the birds today? Cool. Like then I know that that's your lane. I'm never gonna have like an actual conversation. Like that's fine. So, like, for me, that's how I think I differentiate, like, is this worth nurturing? Are they meeting me in a space that can go a little bit deeper than the weather or the news?
I
And
like
if it can, then cool. Like, I'm gonna, you know, put forth my best effort to make sure that that connection continues to thrive, and if it, if it doesn't, then I don't put the same pressure on it, you know?
well articulated. Thank you.
Huh?
Well articulated. I like it.
Oh, well, sometimes the words just come out of my mouth. I don't like I sometimes I'm like, "Wait, what did I just say? Did I say something small?"
Oh, I resonate, and like my articulation is not on point today. So I'm appreciating that you're kind of taking the words that I want to say and you're giving them voice. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for also mentioning that because, if anybody didn't know, we are human beings that sometimes first of all, I created this live 2 months ago. We agreed to do this like 2 months ago. So I appreciate you staying with it and like, but yeah, sometimes we're humans and we don't always have the energy to do certain things. So I just appreciate you being here as always, my friend.
Thank you.
Um so recently I read two of your recent posts in April and they both kind of spoke to me. Do you think over efforting connection is connected to not fully feeling safe being seen?
Ooh, I think I need you to. This is read it.
I know it's a whole bunch of words. Do you think over efforting connection is connected to not fully feeling safe being seen?
Yeah, if someone's gonna put too much effort into right, it's because you're. Wow, I think you already answered the question.
I might have. I
You-
mean,
If that in my direct experience, I've had relationships where I overfunctioned, overgave. I don't know if it was because of the fear of being seen. Part of it was not feeling safe and just wanting to be loved, right? So the seen part is interesting to me. Hmm.
I mean, I liked this question because I think it bridged one post to the next post. But I definitely feel like I think I wrote a note or somebody had wrote something in a note and I was like, allowing somebody to see you is like you still have to like allow that. Like not everybody can just be seen, right? Like, and what I noticed in my life wasn't that I was allowing people to even see me. I was just performing the role that I knew that they needed.
Yeah,
So I personally do feel like over efforting connection is connected to not fully feeling safe being seen. So I didn't like feel like me, whoever I am outside of the way that I performed what that person needed was, a safe place. So I just did what that person thought, like what I thought that person needed out of that relationship. So
I get that.
um
I've done that. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So that segue into you're not behind, you're building without a blueprint.
Mhm.
This is your most recent post, and the title alone spoke to me because before we went live, I told you like I've been good with my words. I've been able to articulate words for a really long time, but I've never like sat down and put a whole bunch of things out there for a whole bunch of strangers to read. And I think I underestimated the impact of what that really would do to me over a course of time.
Mm.
So I have to always remember. to give myself grace and not look at my timeline or my growth in this place and compare it to anybody else's. Because I've literally never done this before. So this "you're not behind, you're building without a blueprint" really spoke to me. And in that piece, you talk about building with a nervous system that didn't feel safe. When did that really click for you?
When did that really quick, like, I'm not sure I understand exactly.
So you talk about building with a nervous system that didn't feel safe. When
Yes.
did you realize that you were building, with a nervous system that didn't feel safe?
If I'm being honest, like within the last couple of years, because I was in survival mode in the Bay Area. Like I built a
Mm,
wellness company just because I was healing myself from depression from working at nonprofits that burnt me out in my 20s.
mm,
Then I learned how to do all these things like acupressure, Reiki, and yoga. And I thought, what if I, helped other people who felt the same way? But dude, like I would teach a yoga class and make $3 for 90 minutes because that was the pay structure. Like, how was I supposed to survive off of that? So my nervous system was dysregulated, running around, picking up classes, getting paid less than someone on unemployment for a week, but
mm,
believing in this and then trying to save money for these trainings and certifications because with only that, then I'll be successful. So I'm in this machine in the wellness space, which really I'm detoxing from because it's like pay all these people for what are indigenous practices is a whole fucking other thing.
mm,
So when did I fucking realize this? When I took a step back during the pandemic, also because you have so much space to think about what you're doing with yourself, right? I'm like, I don't feel good. Like I don't feel good. I'm never paid for the work choices I make. Think about it. I worked at nonprofits and trying to heal people and look at the value system of our country. It doesn't value artists, healers. So that is part of my life's work is to bring some equanimity into that. So anyway,
mm. So you mentioned you were a Leo. I'm a Leo, and I do feel like even though we don't have the same life, like I said, I do feel like we've been on very similar paths. So it makes me wonder what can we learn from each other's struggles? Because it's ironic, right, that you're in like a health and wellness and like furthest from healthy. Furthest from self, furthest from feeling like you're safe, like and this is what like drives me kind of a little cuckoo on Substack is like there are so many people telling you how to do your life. There's so much noise about like, well, this is how you make your Substack like successful. This is how you grow. This like there's so many people's opinions basically just based off what had worked for them. And just because something worked for one doesn't mean it works for all,
yes.
right? So I have always felt this like calling to want to help people. I don't know. I don't know why. Like I don't know why. Maybe it's the empath in me, like, but it isn't like a rewarding in a financial capacity. I do feel like it can be very rewarding, like just from humanity, like from self, like to feel like, wow, I did something good for somebody. I don't even need like acknowledgement for it. Like, look at this person now doing their thing. Like that makes me so happy. And
Mhm.
that happiness is enough. And that's my riches that I hold on to. But like in this world, I can't buy a house with that.
Exactly. You're
Right?
talking systemic shit right now, right? So people have good intentions and then like politics too. They'll promise all this shit and then they get into office and then they get, the game takes over them. So it's this whole thing about capitalism, late stage capitalism, how we make money, values. But if you can't see shit's collapsing because it's not sustainable and it wasn't built on ethics, trust, or love or equanimity. Like
Right, it's rigged for like the 11 families that have been.
exactly. And they're okay sleeping at night while everyone else is struggling, which blows my fucking mind because you think you're gonna live in this like place on earth where like don't you care about everyone else on the planet? Like I don't get it. Like
It's like that it is really hard because I mean, everybody wants to be a billionaire, and I'm like,
what?
I don't even want to be I just want to be able to like live life without stressing on like, do I have enough to cover like tampons? Like, can I buy
Okay.
tampons?
Or have
Like,
not what I want. Thank you. I know the pink tax is a whole nother thing, but yes. Yeah.
but I'm saying like I don't like, but if I was one of those select 1% of people that had like more money than I could actually spend in my lifetime, I think I would be like the brokest rich person. Like genuinely like like every year I would make X amount of money and every year that whatever I didn't actually use went to. those who need it. Like I could not in my right mind or like in this body feel okay with having all that I could ever have and living lavishly while other people literally don't have a place to sleep at night.
I know.
That contrast is so heavy. Or like that people would rather be in prison because they don't have to pay bills and they get fed. Like, like that's reality though.
It
Like
is
the why people go back because it's hard. It's
part of
hard
their
being
life.
out here,
No, yeah,
right? So like I said, I just wish the game was rigged a little bit better.
I do too. And I don't know the answer if I did, right? But my
No.
feeling is, what is my feeling? When you're in living in fear, you tend to hoard, and then we value, like, I think we all need to look at what security means. We've been
Mm.
taught security means money in the bank, you own your house, you have a pension, but look at what happens. A bank goes out of business, pension's gone.
I
So
mean, money isn't real.
it isn't real, and we
It,
need
we
it.
made it. I mean, we made it up. It's just paper. Like we could like the government keeps printing it as if they're not in trillions of debt. Like it just doesn't. And none of it makes any sense.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'm just like, this stuff makes me angry too, but then it's like, what are we all doing? Why are we here?
What's the collective purpose? Like
What is
there,
collective?
like
Yeah,
right as
yeah.
a collective, what is the point of it as a collective? I mean, I've been struggling with this for a couple of weeks now, just for like soul, like for
Mhm.
myself. Like, what is the point for me? Like, why am I here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? What is like I'm trying to figure that out. But as a collective, like that's something that really um makes me wonder because I just think that a lot of us have very and it's fine. Like that's fine. Like to have different values, different goals, different understandings of what you said, like security and safety. Like that's fine. But like I want to be a part of something that moves something progressively in the right direction where it helps more people than be a part of something that only helps me.
I hear you.
So I know I'm preaching to the wrong person. I'm sorry.
This is all stuff that matters to my soul, and that's why we align. So I don't know what else. Like, should we ask
You know
you?
what's kind of crazy is like I don't even remember
Um,
how we even interacted the first time. I just know that you've been a part of this space for so long with me, and I appreciate and adore that. We got another chance to connect and have a conversation, even if we're both humans who one are emotional and two don't feel like life in today.
I didn't, and that's facts. Like, we booked this. I'm excited, but then when the moment comes, you can't force yourself. Like, my feelings are my feelings. My reality is my reality. Like, I am overwhelmed with life right now, and I'm doing my best. And I can cry at the drop of a hat because I have a lot of fucking things happening in my life that's tender right now. And that's the messy middle. Like, instead of, curating and pretending I have it all together, I
Yeah.
don't. But I'm still putting one foot forward. I'm still creating joy when I can. I'm still being open to miracles. I still have faith that all the shit we're going through is going to lead us to a better space. I don't know. I have to hold on to some sort of faith.
Right. No, I mean, I feel you, and I no. Sometimes I wonder. My grandfather's going to be 93 this year. And just the thought of like being alive for 93 years exhausts the shit out of me.
Oh shit.
But it also like it's also like a beautiful thing because he's got not that he thinks it's a beautiful thing or and that, but if I got that opportunity, to me it's like a beautiful thing because you've got 9 decades of seeing how as a collective things change. Like, he is very much stuck in what he remembers when he was much younger, which is fine. He can live in that lane, that whatever makes him happy. But um, I joke around like, hey, maybe I should just pick up passengers and be a cab. And he was a cab driver in the city before GPS.
Mm.
And like to think, and then so I asked him, I said, well, what if you didn't know where you were going? He's like, well, if I didn't know where I was going and the passenger didn't know where they were going, I couldn't take that fare.
Wow.
And I said, it makes me having opportunities to speak to somebody that has lived life in a very simplistic type of way for a very long period of it. Because he was already like in his like 70s, 80s when things were changing with phones and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Right. So he doesn't really understand any of that. So I sometimes wonder, like, did us as humans overcomplicate our own living system?
Ooh, that is such a good question with technology, right? It
I mean, I love it because that's how we're able to do this right now.
available, but did we need it? I don't know.
I mean, back in the day, people actually hand wrote letters to one another
Ugh.
and had to wait and, like, right?
Waiting, I know, is sweet, and we have too much instant gratification. Think about it. Like,
I think sometimes it ruins, like, even me, sometimes I have to, like, take my phone and chuck it and, like,
mhm,
forget where it is because I'm like, I am otherwise I'm just sitting here like this and I'm like, this isn't helping me. This isn't I need to go get air. I need to go for a walk. I need to take my dog out. I need to drink more water. Like I can't sit on this screen all day.
mhm.
I'm not actually absorbing or learning anything. It's just like constant stuff just hitting me in the face.
Well, that's with dating, right? You scroll through it and people just you just start to,
Ugh,
like,
I
nag.
hate
Yeah,
it.
and then, like, if I was of the era where we got to, like, listen to the radio and press record on a cassette tape to hear our favorite song, and half of it would be the DJ talking and be so excited. Now you have Spotify and all these ways to hear the song you wanna hear at the moment, which is awesome.
And you could replay it over and over again.
But then, like you said, where is the, like, joy in waiting or it not being available? Like, you have to teach yourself that, and that is hard.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my nephew and even just like again, video games, the evolution of video games. I played video games. My video games were very Crash Bandicoot was very different from Fortnite.
Oh.
Like, right? Like there were
I'm overwhelmed.
right, right,
Like
right.
Mario, like, okay, you kill the thing and you go to the next level. Now it's like, oh my God, and you're talking to people all over the world. Why would you ever leave your house? Like,
But that's the thing is like that kids nowadays don't really know how to
I know.
connect in person. They're
Mhm.
much more comfortable making friends online when they're playing. And then, like I said, there's all these studies about like the different games that were like even board games that were out when we were kids, as opposed to what is I know who's playing board games. Everything you could play any game you want on your phone. Like who's sitting down and like playing a board game? Lynn
Oh
says Pong. That was a was
my
that just a boom boom
God, yes.
like that one, right? See, I can hang out with you guys.
Exactly. And then we're not even talking about AI because I know that has everyone up in arms and everyone has an opinion, right? Like,
I mean, because we're humans, we all have opinions, and we all feel our opinions are right, and we all must make everybody
I
understand our opinions because our opinions are right all the time.
my point is technology is helpful until it runs you, until you lose yourself in it and you give it your power, just like anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we could sit all day and go over good and bad of any decade of any generation. But I do feel like as we continue to move forward, I am more concerned on the way that children are now exposed to so many things. And I'm not somebody that's like, oh, your kid shouldn't have a phone. Oh, well, what is all this? Like, it's not my place, not my business.
Right.
At the end of the day, my nephew has a phone and has had a phone since he was 8. That's my sister's choice. And guess what? That phone has a GPS, so everywhere that kid goes, my sister knows exactly where it is. That's something that my mother did not have, and thank the Lord. But you know,
I know.
I said that there's pros and cons even as a parent. Like, yeah, have this because I want to be able to reach you or see where you are 24/7. But then there's like, well, then they're exposed to everything that's out there.
Yeah.
I know there's settings and this and that and whatever, blah blah. But yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes we've overcomplicated life by just continuing to move the needle when it comes to these things. But hmm, yes, Lynn, it was basic, and you know what? Now that I love that she said it, and I instantly remembered that game. It was just like that one was good. Snake was good. They were just I even did like a Oregon Trail when
I
I
love
was in school.
Oregon Trail.
Like
Mm,
bring
mm,
back bring back the old shit. I don't
right.
know. Maybe I'm just being super nostalgic. I didn't realize um as I got older how much I would hold on to certain things. So and it makes me laugh because I can remember being like 12, 13, 14, 15, and like judging my parents for the music that they listened to when they were in their 30s, and that was basically what they listened to when they were kids. And like again, just judging them hard body, like judging my parents hard body, like times have changed, let's go. And I'm over here like, please, I just want to hold on to the
The other
90s. I
side.
just want to hold on to the 90s. I don't even care what are we in, I don't even care. Like,
Yeah, that's part of aging, I guess.
yeah,
We
but I get. I don't think you know that as a kid, right? You're not like
Nope.
thinking that that's gonna actually hit you one day, and then it does. And like I said, recently, last week I had a prompt by Mindful of It, and it was to create a 12 track life album basically. And
Mm.
the first song that I picked, I had to like go to I needed a song to represent high school because that's like as far back as I can really remember. Like anything like little kid, I don't really remember, but high school is very, still recent enough for me, kind of. And the used had a song called "I Caught Fire," and I love that song, so I downloaded, I put it on my Spotify, and then all of a sudden I'm putting on different Taking Back Sunday songs and other like Dashboard Confessional song, and all of a sudden I'm in my emo world, and I'm just like, no, 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 I'm listening to the lyrics of these songs, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. This makes sense why my life, when it came around love, became like heavy, and I felt like I needed to like be willing to sacrifice all of myself for that thing, because that's what those songs kind of represented, like,
Mm.
you know, whatever. Anyways, before we say adios, oh my god.
I know. Hour went by fast.
It did. Look, and we weren't even in the mood really to chat, and I'm just over here blah 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 blah. Um, but for someone listening who feels like they're doing everything right, but nothing is clicking, what do you want them to understand?
Wow.
And maybe it's what you would tell yourself, honestly.
Well, it's basically like I feel we're all born with a unique genius. We're not meant to be the same. And the systems kind of commodify us to output labor. So if you feel like you're doing you and the things that light you up and the things that you're here to contribute in your own way, and it doesn't click because it's not algorithm fed or we're not making money off of it, like it sucks, but let's hope things shift. I know I'm part of that movement, so I just want you to be seen and validated and not give up if that brings you joy and if that's part of your inner purpose. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, when I started this a year ago, I don't really know what I thought. I mean, I thought I was going to be famous, obviously. Like I was like, oh, this is
That's
easy peasy.
Leo, like, of course.
And then, of course, life humbled me and was like, yeah. um, but I was recently watching a live that Collaborated Chaos was a part of, and she had communicated that there really isn't any books about the messy middle. And I think for me, for you, for her, we all have this passion to actually communicate what the fuck it is, and based on our experiences, right? Like my messy middle might be a little bit different than your messy middle or hers, but as long as we're sharing it, as long as like it's out there so somebody doesn't feel like they're the only ones going through it, I think that's always been the most important thing for me.
That is
Yeah.
exactly my life's work is I want to teach from vulnerability and messiness instead of look at me now. I'm amazing.
Right. I mean, I hope for both of us, all of us, everybody, anybody who's in here, that we all get to whatever that glow up looks like. But I think most of us have to spend more time appreciating and adoring the messy middle that, because once you get to the glow up, then what?
And then,
Right?
in my perspective, when I see people on Instagram that don't post the messy middle, I'm just like, you want me to be that or buy that just because you look great now? I'm like,
Well, what did it really take to get
oh,
there?
and then why are we doing that? I know we all have a message, but this perfection curation thing and Hollywood glam thing, like, I don't know. I'm just so tired of perfection.
I mean,
Mm.
not to get into anything really, but I don't even think Hollywood is great. I mean,
It's
the
not,
the,
but
the
they
last
put out the
let's say
content that we're all like looking at as our life should be like that. The
but
rom com.
but what I'm looking at is a Justin Bieber who never got to live his life. Right? And what I'm looking at is a poor kid that had been traumatized way before he ever deserved to by other fucking adults that said that they loved him.
I know, and then
You
everyone's
know?
his music and his artistry because that's what the
Well,
masses.
let's say what when I see his Coachella set, I'm like, I'm not mad about it.
A lot of people talk
Can
about
you?
how spiritual that was.
But I mean, I'm like looking at him and I'm like, I'm profoundly proud of him. Do you know how hard it is to look at a smaller, younger version of yourself before you've been through what you've been through and just like sing, say, be you, right? Like that's tough.
Yeah.
I give him tons of fucking respect for not breaking down as he's singing his songs because I can't look at a 6-year-old version of me and just like pretend like life is perfect or that nothing bad happened to her. Like that's hard as fuck, you know? So yeah,
Mhm.
this is what it actually looks like. It's hard. Life is hard.
It's
We all
hard.
go through shit,
Mhm.
and the longer we avoid what we've been through and that won't speak about it, the longer you're gonna sit in it. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
And I hate how like getting emotional or being passionate is sometimes so negative. Like people view that shit as like, oh, what is
Yes,
that?
too
That
much.
too much? Like get the fuck out of here.
Because they're scared. They're scared of the way we feel. It makes them not. They don't want to feel these things.
Yeah. Or
Anyway.
yeah. But collaborative chaos said for me, I'm taking my messy middle and developing framework for the next person so they have something to reference to navigate. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Ooh, I want to get with you, collaborated chaos, because I'm writing a book on the messy middle, or I'm gonna. So
I mean, all three of us have our own different versions of the way that we communicate what the messy middle has looked like. And I'm not going to burst anybody's bubble, but I think we're all part of the queer community, so that makes things fun.
really,
Uh,
what do you
yeah,
mean? Well, like everyone in this.
no, me, you, and collaborative chaos.
Okay, we got a queer party going
But it is supposedly like lesbian week or something. So I'm gonna just proudly continue to be that
on.
because
Okay,
I because apparently it needs a label.
let's hear.
Women, women loving women. Collaborator says, "I love you so much, Marlena. Your vulnerability is the most beautiful thing about you." Well, thank you. I appreciate that because honestly, sometimes it doesn't feel that way, and I'm sure Nicolette has had experiences as well where being vulnerable, being emotional, being open has, had some negative responses. So it sucks. Let's team up. I sub to you. So yeah, you guys can slide in each other's DMs. I would love to see a collab by both of you. Um, Lynn said not me.
No, no haters if you're not queer. We're not hating
No,
on.
we're not hating. We're not hating. I love all humans. People are people, and I think what I just try to represent is that, none of us really know what the fuck we're doing. And the sooner all of us actually just agree with just saying that, like, yeah, I don't know. You know, what I thought my life was going to be like when I was a teenager growing up and following all the fucking rules. It's not. It literally is nothing like that at 36, going to be 37 years old.
Wow,
So I'm
36.
blessed for what I have.
Mhm.
I appreciate the lessons that I've been served, even though they've fucking ripped me to pieces. And yeah, genuinely, the space, while I am going through it, like some other people, while I'm going through it, I do appreciate the space that has allowed me to connect with you, my dear friend, and then everybody else in the chat that has been a part of this. Like, it's a special community, but I'll be honest, the Substack app, I don't like
Yeah.
the community. I do the algorithm, the performance, the social media feel of it. I don't like. But I'm here, and I appreciate everybody that's here with us. Lynn says I'm 61 and still figuring this out.
Thank you.
This is why I adore you. Be honest, be vulnerable. It's I think more people need to normalize the fact that like all of us are still figuring it out.
Yep. And we get to recreate ourselves at any age or any time.
Yeah. Yeah, Collaborative says you got to give us tips, Lynn.
Yeah, 61. What are your tips?
She drinks a smoothie every day.
Oof.
She's got great recipes if you like a smoothie, but I'm sure that's probably why she has got great skin or something like that too. But um, you know,
Don't
this
smoke
is
bread.
don't smoke in bed. I mean, that's a great way not to like catch a fire. So that was a good one, Lynn. I appreciate it. You know, as always, I appreciate you and I thank you tremendously for showing up, even if neither one of us. It's so funny though. Like I feel like we both could have said, "Hey, not feeling great.
Let's
Let's
talk.
reschedule."
That's usually what I do, but I'm like, this is part of my living my truth. Showing up when I'm not, what is this, on? When I'm like, I don't know what that term is, right? Like,
Yeah, I didn't know I had a
moving permit,
switch.
like, I want to be under the covers because life is a lot right now, phase. And so for me to go live and be seen and feel safe with you and everyone's attention, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that you chose to show up in the space with me, and yeah, I think a lot of people in different ways can feel like life is really heavy right now. Um, I think it's just sometimes more important to show up for yourself. So I commend you for still showing up for you in this space, giving yourself an opportunity to just have a conversation. And maybe I didn't solve all your problems today, but at least you were able to prove to yourself that you can go do something even when you're not feeling on.
That has been a life
And
thing, yes, and that there's other people who feel the same way instead of in my head going, "I'm wrong, I'm broken, there's something wrong with me."
no, there's something wrong with you.
No, there's nothing wrong with any of us, we're all just,
Having a human experience.
experience, and that
I
is
don't, I'm still understand. I'm still trying to understand why I've chosen to have this said human experience. But
they say your soul chooses it, it's the best experience because we actually are in a flesh body as opposed to being like a soul, so you can feel things, which sucks, right? So you feel pain and you feel those things you don't like. But imagine just being this ethereal body, right? I don't know. That's what some
no, I mean, I agree. I believe with it. I tell my mom all the time. I have no idea why I chose this family, this body, this
yeah, you
person.
chose it on a
Like,
soul.
like as I was saying, like so what my whole purpose right now in my human experience is to try to figure out what my soul thought I needed to learn from this life. I like that's like my point at this point for myself. Like, why did I pick this family this time? Like, I could have been in the 1800s. Why did I pick this time?
Because I
Right?
want
There's a reason.
Twilight, girl. I don't want to get beheaded. I don't want to be like
Yeah, I definitely would have been one of the witchy witches, I feel like.
exactly. Fuck
But
that.
which reminds me, just a side note before we end this, because meh.
We have to
But
go.
Practical Magic 2 is coming out, and I'm super fucking excited. If you haven't seen the trailer, Sandra Bullock
Same.
and what the hell is that other woman's name? The white woman, blonde hair.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but I remember. It looks like it's going to be great, honestly. So
Oh, she shit.
as does anybody into like practical magic, go check that trailer out because it's gonna be great. All right. Well, thank you again, my friend. With that being said, you've been in the inner room where conversations go deep, the connections surprise, and the truths linger long after the world quiets down. Until next time, keep listening inward because that's where the stories that shape us really live. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you, my friend.
To all.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.